News
Oh,
Network. Exactly.
flipping.
Corral.
Marta Curl.
And I tried to catch some of the banter that was going on before because it was epic, but
Our
she saw it.
outtakes are amazing.
Yeah, if
and
the
we
camera
always
had been
say,
rolling,
why weren't we recording that?
I know it. We just need an extra camera right there, always
We
running.
need to be like the Truman Show and have people, watch our normal lives.
So this is kind of news, kind of rant. I saw this video a few days back about several trans people resigning from the Young Turks network. And even though we are extremely small time, I consider those colleagues, and, same kind of news, Then I saw on the Midas Touch, somebody talk trash briefly about the Young Turks, and we love us some Midas Touch.
And this is like kind of off color, but I thought it was kind of funny, just as a joke. I started calling them the Young TERFs,
which will be funnier after we say the thing. TERF is what?
Trans exclusionary radical feminist.
Yes. So
TERF.
So I watched this. This person. I didn't really get their pronoun, so I don't want to mess it up. But they had resigned because of the transphobia at the Young Turks network, and I was shocked. I had to watch it, and I watched it. And I waited, to see the evidence, the example, and without further ado,
I still don't totally understand what's going on.
This is what
I've heard it a million times.
Item number 1 on the evidence list, and I didn't see item number 2 even. I saw her responding to this. I guess it's a tweet from Anna Kasparian from the Young Turks. I'm a woman. Please don't ever refer to me as a person with a uterus, a birthing person, or a person who menstruates. How do people not realize how degrading this is? You can support the transgender community without doing this shit.
Okay, I kind of get what she was. I kind of get it. But I don't think, does that make them transphobic?
That's the problem, and hence the title of the thing. Maybe we should stop using the word phobia.
Maybe they tried a little too hard, maybe a little bit overboard, but that doesn't make them.
She's a real word person, and I am too. I may misspell it, but if you use it wrong, I'm going. I'm not going to be able to listen to the rest of your statement. Phobia means you're afraid of something. You're afraid of trans people. Homophobic means you're afraid of homosexuals. And maybe people are because they have latent tendencies that they can't deal with, and it makes them scared. But no, you're a hater.
So are you basically alluding to like her saying that because she's transphobic and she took offense to being called, person who menstruates?
I don't. They didn't have the tweet.
Trying to understand the nuance here.
They didn't have the tweet that led to that tweet. They have a follow-up. I'll probably go to the follow-up in a minute, but it's like, okay, well, first, I don't have a uterus. And people can be whatever they want to be. In my other world, I'm called a witch or a warlock, depending on which of those kind of pronouns you want to use. And that should be my choice, as should be the choice of any transgender or non-binary person. But then having to force a woman to have your definition of them, and if they reject it, then they're transphobic. I really
I'm okay now. I'm really not understanding. You just said the opposite of what you implied to me. So now I'm really confused.
Okay, I'm not sure where you're confused. She's taking exception for certain.
So she doesn't want to be called a person with
a uterus,
whatever, who menstruates.
Yes. And her stating that made her transphobic. That was the evidence I was given for the Young Turks being transphobic. And I'm asking anybody out there if you have more.
So she's with the Young Turks.
Yes.
So she represents the Young Turks.
Yes.
So when she said that, therefore that made the Young Turks.
And as you know,
turn them into the Young Turks.
Yes. Okay. Certain subjects cause mobs mob up right away, and I never joined the mob. I want logic, reason, and evidence, or you can fuck off. So I see that. I try and put myself in her position, which is, something I suggest everybody do. And if I was a woman, I might take offense to that. If somebody was to refer to a trans woman as a woman without a uterus, that's very offensive, is it not? So to force her to be
Even when
referred to
people
as a
say
person
a
with a uterus,
biological
yeah,
male,
yeah, that pisses me off too. You try and like marginalize these people. Hey, I'll accept it, but why do I have to call myself cis to make it somebody else feel
maybe it's short
comfortable?
for cyst.
If you, in your world, if you want to feel comfortable, I will refer to you the way you want to be referred, and I would expect you to give me the same courtesy, and I would expect you to give her the same courtesy too. So I'm not on board with that being transphobic, but if somebody has other evidence, please give it to me, because I love the Young Turks, and if there's a problem, I really want to know what the problem is.
We even had a controversy with her son. He had a non-binary friend, and he kept insisting to us that this friend wants to be referred to as it. And I had a hard time with that. And I asked some of my friends, and like all these people who are, some of them are, transgender, some of them aren't, but they all took offense to it. And so I'm like, who am I to tell this person that they can't be called it because I think it's offensive? So I was like, I'm not necessarily comfortable with it. That's, not my choice of words. But if it wants to be called it, like, who am I to tell it that that's wrong?
And I support the LGBTQIA plus, and everybody should have their rights. She should have hers. Anna should have hers. If she doesn't want to be referred to as a person that menstruates, I mean, that's one of the things. That's all of those. It's not a problem for me to refer to you by your pronouns and by how you want to describe yourself. Why should you get to impose that upon somebody else who's on the left, who is an ally? And quite frankly, as a longtime activist who literally was in a group infiltrated by the FBI, when I see people dividing groups on the left with no real evidence or real purpose, I look at you and I question your motives. And if it's not your motives, then I question, your veracity. Did you do your homework? This is me doing some homework, asking out there if anybody else. I keep looking. I don't find other examples of this homophobia, or I'm sorry, the transphobia in the Young Turks. And if it exists, I want to know about it, because I don't want to support those kinds of things. But when somebody asks, this happens in my life all the time, when somebody comes to me and wants me to join the mob against somebody that had been a friend, I'm going to definitely need some serious logic, reason, and evidence. And if you just get really emotional and try to make me have an emotional response to join your mob, then you've lost. It's never going to fucking happen. Now, when you light up those fucking torches, man, something happens in the human psyche, and you become an out of control mob that makes no sense anymore. I think that's where those Nazis fucked up with their tiki torches, man. I really don't know if tiki torches evoke the same response, but this happens all the time, and quite frankly, it happens around the same subject. So many prominent people in our communities have been called a TERF, transphobe, and I go, okay, why? And I'm usually not satisfied with the why that I'm given, and I'm not satisfied with this yet either. I'm not going to repeat that the Young Turks are transphobic.
Or Young TERFs.
Yeah, that they are. Yeah, I'm not going to say that they're Young TERFs, but if they are Young TERFs, please let us know.
That's kind of funny.
We don't get enough comments over here. Y'all are just quietly watching it. We see it. It's growing slowly but surely, and then on our TikTok page as well. But like, comment, subscribe. Butterflies chased each other. And bell. We're going to go watch the butterflies.
We've never seen two big ones together.
I think they're trying to do it.
Maybe.
Even though it's not spring. Yeah, rock on.